Today we're doing mental health Q&A. Hey, what's up you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Lydia, and if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, join the growing family, and yeah, let's get on with the Q&A. So starting at the top, we've got, when you have a panic attack, how do you regulate your breathing? So I think it's important to highlight here, I'm not a professional, I'm not trained to be a professional, I have no intention on being a professional. I'm simply sharing from my experience and research. So when I'm having a panic attack, which happens most days because I have to go out to get food, I have issues breathing, and it builds up, and I've learned that when I'm having a panic attack is to take a minute, in, out, in, out. And just doing that little in-out exercise really helps calm down a panic attack when you're having a fight or flight experience. And to get out of that, you need to pace breathing. I actually learnt this through doing DBT. The second time I did it. It was really helpful. How have you learnt to cope with trauma without having trauma therapy? Ooh, good question. Very good question. I don't 100% know why I can cope with my trauma now, whereas a few years ago I couldn't, because honestly the only thing that has changed has been my medication. I haven't done any trauma therapy ever. I tried EMDR once and it was too much for me. I was offered trauma therapy and I declined because I didn't want to trigger off all my old memories. So how I cope with my trauma is, yes, I still have flashbacks, and I probably always will have flashbacks. You know, there's some things you just can't get over, no matter what you do. And for me, that one would be my ex committing suicide in front of me. That was traumatic, and that is something that I wouldn't wish anybody to witness, because it was a horrible sight, and I'll never get over that. But what I can manage is how I react to that. So how I react to the flashbacks. I used to turn to self-harm or suicide. Now, I have a flashback, I'm upset for a few minutes, and then I go on my phone, which is such a big help. There is no perfect answer as to how I cope with my trauma, because I don't know myself. But something changed when my medication got changed, and I don't know what it was, but damn, it helped. I don't even know which medication it would be, because I had a big change in most of my medications. So yeah. Next question is, do you fear the unknown? And you're gonna probably be surprised by my answer here. You'd think because of my anxiety and my agorophobia that I'd be like, yes. My answer is actually no. I love not knowing what's gonna happen. We're having a bit of a rude interruption here. When I say I love not knowing what's gonna happen, I don't mean with my health or my family's health. You know, if you watched my weekly vlog, you will know my grandma got diagnosed with cancer. It's really upset me, and I hate not knowing what's going to happen, because cancer is such a scary thing. And yeah, I didn't want to come across that I don't care about what happens in the future. Obviously I care, but when it comes to stuff like, will YouTube become my full-time job? I don't know, you know, like that kind of fear in the unknown is what I don't mind. Like with my brain tumours, when I get them removed in July, I'm terrified about that because I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So yeah, I just thought I'd add this in because I sound like an arrogant prick. Which kind of contradicts my diagnosis of anxiety and agorophobia. But I don't fear what I don't know. You have to be willing to accept that anything can happen. And I think that's a big part of why I'm starting to overcome my agoraphobia. If you want me to make a video talking about my agoraphobia as an update, let me know in the comments down below. Next question, what was your worst hallucination? Okay, so I have two that I want to mention. One was induced by an overdose, and one was because of psychosis. So the drug overdose one that I took, that I went through, was a man transformed into a dog and started chasing me up a street, and then I ran round a corner. I don't know where I was, I can't remember. And then birds started flying off a lamppost into me, and I was screaming, someone phone the police. The police drove me home. And the best thing is, I woke up the next day and I thought it was a dream, and then I checked my phone because I dropped it quite a few times in the dream, and my phone was just smashed to pieces, which is when I realised, oh shit, that actually happened. The second scariest hallucination was when I was living in Preston. If you don't know where that is, it's in Lancashire. I'll put a little map on screen here. Basically, I went to sleep, and then I woke up and I saw a hand coming out of my bathroom door. So I threw my pillow at it, and it went back in the door. Then the door locked from the inside, and I was like, who the fuck's in my bathroom? So I called security. I was like, someone's in my bathroom. And the security came up and he just opened the door. He's like, no one's in there. I'm just like, the door was locked. I saw a hand. Needless to say, he called an ambulance. What's your experience with psychosis? My experience with psychosis is I had my first psychotic episode at age 13. I had hallucinations previously where I saw fireworks in the sky that I made with my eyes. So I've had experience from a very young age to now. I was originally diagnosed bipolar type 1, and then last year I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type, and well, yeah, it's just been a complicated journey so far. So yeah, it's something I still struggle with, but I'm getting better at managing it. What do you think triggered your first manic episode? Okay, let's go back in time a bit here. It's a siren. But what I think triggered my first manic episode was because I was being severely bullied at school. There was a hate campaign against me on Facebook, and all these people were joining in bullying me and making me feel like shit, and I think it's just what broke the camel's back, if I'm being honest. And it must have just triggered the mania. Considering that you have seizures, what do you think your triggers would be? I honestly don't know. So I started having seizures after I had seizures growing up as a kid. They stopped around the age of 12. Fast forward to me being 27. The last 3 weeks I've had 13 seizures that I know of, and each time they're getting more and more severe. The last one landed me in majors. It was oxygen and a collar on. and I don't know, I guess it could be multiple things. It could be my blood sugar, it could be my blood pressure, it could be the brain tumours. You know, there's a lot of things it could be. I don't know, is my honest answer. How did you develop agoraphobia? So I developed agoraphobia last year, and I think what caused it is fucking bites. I think what triggered me to develop agoraphobia is I went a month without going out the flat. It was my final year of university, and I tried going into university for every session, but my anxiety would just beat me around and I'd have to leave early every single time. My attendance was 43%. I still got a first though. But as for what caused me to develop it, I think it was because I was under such stress to pass my degree this year, because it's the final year I could try and do it with funding. And yeah, it's just one of the things that happened. Like now, I can go out the flat with headphones in and I can be relatively okay as long as I'm not going far. Now when I go to say Wetherspoons, I have to take lorazepam to go out, and I can go to the shop, I can go to my universal credit appointment, I can go to the front door, I can go to my GP surgery. The one thing I can't do is get on a bus or the tube or an Uber. I have to have lorazepam if I would do anything other than them things. How are you doing with your ED? I made a video a few days ago talking about my eating disorder relapse, and honestly from there I'm not doing too great with it. For example, I'm skipping a lot of meals and I'm not snacking on things anymore, which I guess is a problem. I'm drinking Pepsi Max, so no sugar, which means my sugar level is constantly dropping, which means I get given a can of Coke, full sugar Coke, which I don't want to drink, but I don't have a choice because if my blood sugar carries on going down, you go to hospital. Or you get glucogel. Ugh. I don't like glucogel. But if I'm being completely honest about my eating disorder, it's a bit of a mess. And could I do with some support with it? Yes. Am I going to seek support for it? No. Am I going to try and deal with it on my own? Yeah. I'm determined not to lose too much weight. I only want to lose 3 more kilograms. Do you think I can go through it without a therapist? I'm presuming you're talking about mental health there. It's 100% possible to go through mental illness without seeing a therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, occupational therapist, counsellor, or yeah, a therapist. One thing you'll notice about my journey, if you've watched me for a long time, is I've never really had consistent therapy. I did DBT twice, I've done CBT twice. Yes, it's 100% possible to go through mental illness without a therapist if you're good at doing self-help stuff. For me, I work better alone, so self-help has really helped me. I done a whole DBT program by myself, and that really helped me. Yo.
Yo, how are you?
Took a tumble down the stairs yesterday.
I saw. Are you okay?
My back's a bit fucked.
That does not surprise me.
You also called in the middle of me filming a video.
Oops. Sorry.
Which I'll pause for. Continuing on after Serenity interrupted me for 45 minutes. Do I think I can go through it without a therapist? Absolutely. It's harder because you're going into it without support, but if you try self-help stuff, how to deal with PTSD. So, if anyone doesn't know, I'm diagnosed with PTSD. I have been since I was... How old was I when I got that diagnosed? 16? 17? I think I was 17. I struggled a lot with my PTSD for a long time, and it's only been the last 2 years or so that where I've been working on myself, and I've got self-help books on PTSD, anxiety, depression, bipolar, psychosis. I don't have any books on schizoaffective disorder, so if you want to buy me one, let me know in the comments down below and I'll give you my address. How to deal with PTSD. My best advice is find something that gives you comfort. For me, this is my comfort animal. Mr. Unicorn. What do I do if the support doesn't help? Now, I've been there when support doesn't work. I did an intense DBT course, and it was a DBT skills in a week, basically. And everyone that I met that had done this before said it didn't help them. I went into it with an open mind. And on the first day that I did it, I got triggered because of a conversation about self-harm. Then I got triggered by my medication because we had to take our medication out the living room area, and some other girl came with me and she's like, "Is that all you take?" And in my head it sort of said, maybe it's not that bad if I only need these. Sometimes support simply doesn't work, and to move forward you have to think outside the box. So I'll say it again, self-help. Trust me, self-help books work, they help a lot. What do you want to do with your younger self, about 16? Dear 16-year-old me, put down the blade. Don't overdose. Don't drink too much sugar. Relax. It's okay to not be okay. And I'm going to give you a hug, because it does get better. How do I convince my parents that I need help? So, I don't really remember my mom first recognising that I needed help, because I was manic, I was psychotic, I was not with it. So I can't really say how to convince parents you need support, but when I was 17 I took my first overdose, and the college that I was at called my mom. My mom came and got me and took me to A&E. And she was like, "You need help." So sometimes showing your worst, showing them when you're at your worst can help. But how do you convince parents that you need help? My honest advice, and like I said before, I'm not a professional, so don't take it as professional advice, is just talk to them. Say, "Hey, I need help, I'm struggling." And they'll either support you or they won't. If they don't, you can go and get support on your own. You can turn up at A&E or emergency department on your own, and doing that you can get support. What's the worst thing about your anxiety/depression? My anxiety, the worst thing about it is it stops me from going out and about and doing stuff. My depression is the chronic suicidality. What do you do when you're stressed? BTW, you are beautiful. Oh, thank you. What to do when you're stressed? Get a stress toy or a comfort keychain. I would get mine, but it's over there. Well, I'll insert a picture of my comfort keychain here. A comfort keychain is a stress, anxiety fidget toy. It's discreet, it doesn't look like a fidget toy. You can get add-ons, and I'll link AC toys in the description down below. What's one condition, mental health wise, you wish you could change? Agorophobia. In a heartbeat. It is easily the worst mental health condition I've ever developed. I would get rid of agorophobia. Do you have an attachment disorder? I'm not diagnosed with any attachment disorder. However, I do have attachment issues. I find I get very attached to everything that I buy. So when it comes to getting rid of things or selling things, it really bothers me. It makes me anxious. Can you show us your first ever YouTube video? Okay, you've done enough. Do you feel safe where you live? Yes and no. Yes, because I have a key fob to the front door, so I don't know what's going to break in. No, because the residents are unpredictable. Within my first week of living here, the guy in the room opposite me came in my room with his penis out and was wanking. He then climbed over me in the bed, and he's looking at all my pictures of me and my family, and he's like, "Is that your sister?" while wanking. Then I had another guy who's now been kicked out, but he came into my room and was like, "Do you want to have sex with me?" No. No, I don't. Is schizoaffective disorder hard to live with? Yes, because it has many complexities with it. It's a complex mental health condition, and it has so many different elements to it. Like, if you have bipolar type, you get mania, hypomania, depression. And if you have the depression type, you have deep depressive episodes while having psychotic symptoms. Because schizoaffective disorder separated is schizo, which is the schizophrenia symptoms. Affective is the mood element, so it's either depression or bipolar. Yes, it is hard to live with, but it gets easier with time. This isn't mental health related, but I want to answer this. How come it took you so long to complete your degree? So, I started my degree in the University of Central Lancashire. If you want to know about that experience, I'll link the video on the iCard. I did 2 years in Lancashire, and then I got arrested, had court, got too depressed to actually live on my own, moved back in with my mom. After moving back in with my mom, I then decided to withdraw from University of Central Lancashire, and I also then applied to the University of West London. Now, I did my first 2 years with no issues. Then my third year, it was COVID, so university got shut. Then I did in a third year again, got taken into hospital. Then the course ended at University of West London. So I had to transfer to Met Film School to complete my degree, which was then changed from film production to content media film production. and that took my third year there took me 2 years to complete. The first year I was in hospital twice, and they said I couldn't catch up, so I deferred. And then last year I completed my degree and I actually graduated on my birthday, the 4th of December. Next question is, why do you think the mental health community is so competitive? I personally see the mental health community on Twitter, Instagram as competitive. Now, I think it's because people want to be the sickest or feel like they're worthy of help. And no matter what you're going through, you are worthy of support. It doesn't matter how severe it is, you are entitled to the same support as someone who's in hospital. It's competitive because people want to be the illest. And I think because we share medication details on there and how many we're on, it's like, oh, I'm on 8 prescriptions, oh, I'm on 12 prescriptions, oh, I'm on 18 prescriptions. I'm on 18 prescriptions. They're for my physical health as well as my mental health. I'm only on 5 mental health medications. Yeah, it's just, it is competitive because people want to be the worst off. They want the most attention. And I'm not calling everyone attention seekers, don't get me wrong, but the iller you are, the more interaction and engagement you get off people. And yeah, that's all I've got for this video. If you're new, subscribe. And if you didn't know, I have a membership page, and on the 1st of June I'm going to be posting my very first members only video. So yeah, thank you for watching, thank you to everyone who asked questions, and if you're new, subscribe. Bye!